Hello everybody, Jose Rodriguez here. As you can see, we are back inside Qimage Ultimate, and this is going to be part of a series that I'm going to be creating in the next couple of months actually, and this one will be quite simple. I'm just going to walk you through the very basic layout capabilities of Qimage Ultimate. If you really want to get the nitty-gritty, I would suggest you go to the Qimage website and check out their videos that they have been making for years. For those of you who may not know or realize, Qimage has been around for almost a couple of decades. They do have their own proprietary user interface, so it's something you have to learn as you go along. There is no way around that, and so I have been lucky to be a user of Qimage now for quite a long time, so I'm fairly familiar with the user interface. So let's quickly go ahead and start loading up some images. As you can see, I have the Canon Pro-1000 chosen, photo paper Pro luster, and just a simple letter size paper. And we're going to be using the rear tray that's actually located on the top on Canon printers, portrait mode, and that's basically all we have to really set. As you can see, by default, you get what appears to be 3 4x6s. Now, there are many layout modes available. Basically, what they do is they will arrange images in a certain mode, depending on what mode you choose. And so the only way that we can possibly fill a letter paper size with 3 4x6s would be, say, 2 on the top, 1 on the bottom, or 1 on the top and 2 on the bottom. There's no way to stuff 4 4x6s into such a small size piece of paper. So let's go ahead and check out the various layout modes. These are all automatically controlled, by the way. So we're going to click on this bottom box right here that says IntelliCenter Placement. Boom. So that's what we're using now. Now I'm going to go ahead and go through the various layout choices that we have access to. Now I want you to keep an eye on the shapes that are already predetermined on the page layout. And by the way, we always refer to the paper as the page because you can put any size image print inside a page. We're going to go ahead and go to IntelliSpace and nothing happens. So the two basically perform the same mode. Now, if you're going to be cutting your images, we're going to use IntelliCut. And as you can see, it puts everything edge to edge, literally. These are your minimum margins on the paper as are dictated by Windows in this case. So it will make it very easily for you to just simply trim right along that line, and of course remove the outside borders. Let's go ahead and hit optimally space, and again we go back simply probably to the same. Yeah, that's exactly the same as the previous first two. We're going to go to optimal, and again it just put them up at the minimum upper margin, and again it's basically the same as IntelliCut. Center. Obviously the only way that we can do this is to just allow 2 images, or in other words 2 4x6s in this particular layout. We'll go through the rest of them here. Compact, up to the upper left corner. Template, and this can be edited, by the way. That will be another video. Template center, so now they're centered literally edge to edge in the center of the paper, and that will be a template that you can actually save. Manual, 1 per page. So this is where we're going to actually lay down instructions, in other words locations where you want, or coordinates you can say, possibly where you want the image to be placed, and it can be quite exact. I mean down to 1/100th of an inch, and freehand. You can literally just move your images anywhere you want. We have custom layouts that you can create as well. Most people will use the IntelliCenter mode. Now let's go ahead and load some images. 1, 2, and 3. There you go. Now it placed it on the bottom left because it wants to sort of maintain that same margin. So if I was to trim these to make borderless, then I just simply would cut 1 cut here, 1 cut here, here, down the middle. And of course you'd have to trim off all of the white paper. You can click on one of these and slide it over if you wish, and create that kind of layout. Now, let's go ahead and do a very simple picture package. And remember the days of school when your child, or you possibly when you were little, had your picture taken and it came home in a letter size, or back then possibly an 8x10 sheet of photo paper. wet lab, by the way, and it would contain, say, a 5x7 and several wallet size. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to activate this image. We're going to click on 5x7. Boom. Wallet size would be 2x3. See how many we can squeeze in. All right, so we got one 5x7 and 5 wallet size in a sheet of letter size paper. And that's basically the maximum that you can pack. And again, you would need a trimmer, and you can slice them right off and end up with a beautiful set of the same images, but in different sizes. Now let's go ahead and remove that. As you can see, the last size that I chose was wallet size. That's going to be the one kept activated. Now we can put two 5x7s side by side, just like that. Again, you can print as many of these as you want. You can actually change your images simply by removing one of them, select it, and hit your delete button, and we'll load another image right there, back to back. So this is basically what it is going back to what this program was originally designed for. And this is back when I discovered it years and years ago. This is what I had in mind. I wasn't really interested in creating single prints at that point and time in my photographic career, if you will. I was more concerned with making collages, in other words. So it really served itself fantastic for that. Now let's just make believe that we just simply want to print inside this 8.5 by 11 an image, and I want it to have a 1/2-inch border all around. Click on custom, and you have one way to do this rather easily. Just enter specific size. So what would give me, what dimensions, in other words, would give me a 1/2-inch border all around? Well, that would be 7.5 by 10, 7.5 by 10. There you go. And that's how you would go about doing that. Now, what if I wanted to have a nice black score around it, or any color? You go to the prints, you go to the very bottom right here. I have black selected. I will go ahead and enter, say, 3 pixels. And now when I load the image, it will have a nice black thin stroke around it. Now, you can also do some really, really strange things. You can actually add background color, but we don't want to do that. In this video, this is going to be simply to demonstrate the ability to do a very quick layout using Qimage Ultimate. Now let's go ahead and remove that. Let's change the paper size a little bit here. We're going to go ahead and go to an A3 Plus 13 by 19. And this will give you a whole huge amount of acreage to add as many images as you can fit. So let's do 8 by 10. Let's do a 5 by 7, and we'll do a 4 by 6, and see if we can sneak in a couple of wallet size. And yeah, we certainly can. You see that? So this is really doing this job rather intelligently. Look at that. You never really realize how many you can pack. So this will give you a perfect picture package of whatever image you choose to print. So obviously I was using the automatic cropping. So the 8 by 10 being a different format, a different aspect ratio than this image here, it went ahead and cropped it. Had I not chosen that, then it really would not create an 8 by 10. Remember, when you choose image sizes, they have to match the original ratio of your image. Most cameras now shoot 2:3. Your image size has to be that same ratio. Otherwise, it's just simply going to be cropped, and you just have to live with that. Either that, or you pre-crop your original image so that it fits whatever size final print you're trying to make. And I'm talking about not the whole sheet of paper, but the actual size edge to edge of the image being printed on that paper. Okay? Keep that in mind. All right. I hope you enjoy this. This is very quick, like I said. And there are infinite possibilities of layout available here within this program. Again, you can do so many things that you really would find a little bit more difficult to do in other types of applications. Look at that. You can simply just load image after image after image after image until you got tired. The whole sheet full of these. I have done this before for my school and given the kids some photos to enjoy that I often take of them. There, you can go on forever, folks. So yeah, you can see very clearly that possibilities are endless. Alrighty, I think this is going to be the end. Next time we'll be doing another feature, one of the many features available in Qimage Ultimate. So I hope you enjoy this. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. And of course, happy printing, everybody. Bye-bye.